Welcome back to Revenue Management 101. In today's session, we will talk about how a revenue management system can benefit you and your properties. As we have used the revenue optimization cycle throughout this course, let me visualize the benefits of a revenue management system based on the 4 stages of the ROC: the forecast, optimize, control, and monitor. Let's start with forecasting. The revenue management system takes many different data points, such as 1 year of historical data, plus your daily booking information from your PMS. Ideas as well can get competitive rate shopping information and reputation scores to influence your bar decisions. So to forecast, Ideas combines the historical data and the booking pace information with your property configuration and special events data to produce a day-by-day forecast by market segment group for the next 550 days. Plus, this forecast gets updated up to 4 times per day, something that is humanly impossible. Most revenue managers in a manual environment update the forecast once per week, and that only for the next 3 months. Not having an up-to-date forecast at any point in time might lead to incorrect pricing, yielding, or group placement decisions, all having a negative impact on your revenues. So it's great to have a revenue management system to keep you up to date at all times, even on the weekends. Now let's talk about optimization. This step is actually hidden from the user. It is where the magic happens. Ideas will look at the forecast, competitive rates, the reputation scores, and optimize your hotel by deciding which rates should be available for sale and which not. It does that by looking at the true value of the demand and even by looking at individual stay patterns and lengths of stays. So how and where does an RMS optimize your business? On peak days, the revenue management system will help you drive revenues with optimal market mix decisions, as well as bar and group pricing. Second, as well on your high occupancy days, the RMS will drive revenues and room nights with optimal overbooking controls, getting you closer to sellout. Length of stay controls will help you drive revenues and room nights during your shoulder periods. And on all days, no matter the forecasted occupancy, an RMS helps you to set the right bar as well as group pricing decisions. The outcome of an optimization are the controls that are produced. These controls are the best available rate for your retail business, the last room value, a hurdle that controls the rate product availability, overbooking decisions to get you closer to sellout, and last but not least, pricing and displacement analysis for your group business. Let's talk about each of these a bit more in detail. Let's start with bar. Ideas combines different data points such as your bar structure, competitive rates, reputation scores, forecasted demand and remaining capacity, the last room value, and the probability to sell a rate to calculate the optimal bar for the day. Now it does that every day multiple times for the next 365 days, allowing you to be more proactive, especially further out. If you compare that to a manual environment, you probably would change your rates daily for the next 2 to 3 weeks and only weekly further out. Plus, it's a painful process to look at 3 or 4 different reports to get all the needed information that is currently available in one screen in the Ideas system. You might as well ask yourself why we include competitor information in our bar rate optimization. Let's imagine you currently forecast your hotel at 50% occupancy, and normally at that level of forecasted occupancy, you sell $399. Now, is this the right amount? It is hard to say. Let's imagine your closest competitors were able to get a big convention business and are forecasting 90+% occupancy, and hence they are priced at $529. Because your competition is now priced so much higher than you are, you can as well increase your rate slightly to $459. You are still lower than your competition, so you will be able to attract demand into your hotel. but for each additional reservation, you will now get $60 more than initially. Next, let's talk about how the last room value or hurdle works. This is a very simplified example, only looking at 1 week, 1 night length of stay, and only at the 80-room hotel. Let's imagine Ideas has forecasted demand for this 80-room hotel as follows: 10 rooms at $50, 15 rooms at $75, 20 rooms at $95, 25 rooms at $100, and so on. The total demand for this hotel for this day is 105, and the value of the demand ranges between $50 and $150. Now, what is the optimal number of rooms I should take on this day? Well, 80 to fill the hotel. And the 80 most valuable reservations are 5 rooms at $150, 10 rooms at $130, and so on, until we get to 80 rooms, that is 20 rooms at $95. Hence, 95 is our last room value, the lowest rate to be open for this particular day. Now, obviously, the system does this more sophisticated, looking at more values, at more probabilities, as well as lengths of stays. But let's look at this more in detail. Imagine you have the following demand: 20 rooms of wholesale demand, 50 rooms of unqualified demand, 20 rooms of aircrew, groups, qualified, etc. Now, if you had free choice, you would select only the most profitable pieces of business. That would be 50 rooms at $125 of unqualified demand. You would take all of your qualified demand and your group business. But is that what really happens? No. In reality, you have to take your aircrew, group, and your wholesale allotments. Ideas can't turn these ones away. However, Ideas would select all of the unqualified demand, the highest rated piece of business, as well as 30 of the qualified rooms of $100. Overbooking controls will as well drive value. Let's find out how Ideas calculates these. When the RMS calculates the overbooking numbers, it looks at 4 factors: the wash, both for no-shows and cancellations, your booking curve, the cost of walk, as well as the number of denials. These 4 factors are then looked at by market segment, season, length of stay, as well as day of the week, giving you the optimal overbooking number for your hotel. Last but not least, let's talk about groups. We talked about group pricing and displacement analysis in our optimization webinar already, and a system will help you with these. However, a system will go a step further, and you will be able to analyze not only the date in question, but as well alternative dates. In this example, you got a group request for the 28th of August, but you decided to analyze a day before, a day after, a week before, and a week after. Now the system will give you the optimal rates for all these dates, and you can see at the requested date, the 28th of August, and the requested rate, the group would only give you $4,133 in incremental revenue. However, the system tells you as well the optimal rate on the requested date, which in this case is $70, and $5,333 in incremental revenue. Last but not least, it tells you the best stay pattern and rate combination, driving $5,805 incremental revenue, or $1,670 more than you would have gotten without this analysis. So in summary, the 4 controls Ideas RMS produces are the best available rate to drive revenue for your retail market, last room value to help with your mix and length of stay decisions, overbooking to get to your sellout, and group to help with placement and pricing decision. Now we take these controls and distribute them to your channels automatically, saving you time and preventing human error and parity issues. So let's talk a bit more in detail about this landscape. Ideas will get the data of your room history as well as booking pace from your PMS. We can as well take data from your sales and catering system, competitive rates from your rate shopping tool, reputation scores from your reputation management system, as well as SDA data. We combine all of these data sources to forecast your demand and optimize. Based on optimization, we will come up with our controls. These controls are then being sent to all of your distribution system automatically at the same time. We send them to your PMS, to your CRS, as well as to your channel manager. Constant interaction between the system and the revenue manager are happening. Now, let's go to the last step of the revenue optimization cycle, monitor. With all of the time savings achieved in the previous steps, you now have time to really monitor and analyze your performance. Use the alert functionality within Ideas to help you to manage by exception. Looking at only the changes instead of having to review every day of the future every day. Within Ideas, you will find many reports that you can even schedule for automatic email delivery or just use your mobile to stay up to date with what is going on at your property. As you have seen throughout this presentation, benefits of an RMS are not only financial, but it allows you to save time, to be more strategic and proactive. Benefits of automation are really due to better forecasting that produce better and more proactive controls, which in turn will increase revenue for your property. An RMS will as well help you to be more efficient and spend time on being more strategic, organized, and standardized. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have enjoyed today's session on the benefits of automation.